Good evening, everyone. Time for another silver update. You're looking at the daily chart of silver, and I've drawn a couple of trend lines here. The lower trend line it's not perfect because it accepts out this drop that we had to the 30s in July, but the other points that are met, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points met. So not all the time do I draw trend lines just to the bottom. I try to get a general idea of the channel that we're forming. So this is a obvious rising trend line, and one could say possibly trend channel if we tighten it up to be parallel. Let's see a rough trend channel here. So I fully expect that we'll see something like this. I may be wrong, but I'm looking for something like this, a move to create a cup and then explosion to the upside. But I wanted to take the opportunity tonight and step away for a second from the fundamentals and the technicals and just get to the heart of my strategy for accumulating silver, because a lot of people have become nervous about the price action. It has to do with the movement in gold, which pulled back, I don't even know, $60. We're 60 up 50, bouncing 150. It's obviously a new range of volatility in gold, and I don't have any doubt in my mind that silver is going to follow. And if you have doubts, I encourage you to go back and review a lot of the past videos that I've done. A lot of them are silver updates. I've had viewers recommend that I put a topic reminder after the date to show the type of topic that I address, because for the most part my silver updates have to do with a topic rather than the action of that particular day, because there's just so much you can say about it and then there's nothing left to say. But I encourage those who are new to my channel to go back and review my past updates, because there's a lot of information in there. But I wanted to spend this update not reviewing these technicals, but reviewing some information about why you buy silver, how you buy silver, and what to buy. So this is an opportunity we have here. I really think it's a tremendous opportunity. If you look at the most recent Jimmy Rogers interview, I think they interviewed him yesterday, and they asked him what he was buying and if he would buy gold, because they questioned him specifically about gold, and he said very pointedly that he's not a buyer of gold at record highs, but he's looking at things that aren't at record highs, and he specifically named silver and rice. So it's very encouraging to have Jimmy Rogers recommend silver. He's one of the greats in trading and investing. So we'll leave it at that. But I want to jump over to the main topic tonight, and that's numismatics. So the first thing I want to look at is why I recommend numismatics. I want to cover these topics real quick. As you know, if you followed my videos in the past, I'm very pro numismatic silver, and I want to talk about the reasons why I take that position. The first reason, and I think the most important reason, is counterfeitability. Now, that's something that's not really on the table these days, because most of the silver buyers today and the new people to the game weren't around in the bull market of the 70s. I witnessed it firsthand, and I've researched it thoroughly. And I'm also a person who was into numismatics back in the 70s, and I knew coin dealers and people who were involved in that, so I have some working knowledge of what happened at that time. Back in the 70s, when we had the price spike to around 50 in silver, the counterfeitability of silver actually became a very large issue. You have to think back on that time and think about a $50 price on silver, and if you use different inflation gauges, you'll get different prices. But if we use the Fed's converter, I think we get around 150 to 200. And if we use shadow stats, we get 250 to 300. So you're talking about a price where, if you imagined today where you had a 100-ounce bar of silver, and silver is around $300, you're talking about a bar that is 100 ounces times 300, and that's a $30,000 bar of silver. So when you have that type of profit motive, you can imagine if a person took just a small percentage of silver and used, I think the equivalent metal for silver in gold, it's tungsten that has the near atomic weight. In silver, it's molybdenum, I believe, is the closest in atomic weight to silver. So if you had a bar that was in the cheap metal that was surrounded by 1% of that, 1% of this is about $300, and then maybe another 100 to get that, you could spend about $400 and get $30,000. So there's a strong incentive to counterfeit silver. So that's when the prices are high. So when we get into high prices, bars like the common bars we have are Johnson Matthey and the other bar, Engelhard, are the two most common historical 100-ounce bars. But when you're talking about $30,000 in a bar, you're really going to have to start essaying these things. So the counterfeitability issue is really important, because you want a coin, and I've always favored, this is just my opinion, others may disagree, I'm just giving you my opinion. My opinion is the most desirable coin is the 1-ounce coin. And the reason why is because the counterfeitability issue. You don't drill a coin, you have weight tests and ring tests, and the best test, of course, is the beautiful design on the government minted coins. And I've always preferred the Perth Mint coins for reasons of artistic preference, but that's the big issue for numismatic coins, is the counterfeitability. That's the first issue. Now the second issue is the premium issue, and I'm going to try to show you how a lot of people have said, well, premium doesn't go up, you shouldn't buy coins that have a premium on them, because as the price rises the premium is going to compress, and the best saying I can give to you to explain this issue is that a lot of silver buyers say things like, I want the most silver for my money. Now, I've never agreed with that school. I want the most rarest, least counterfeitable, and most potentially profitable silver for my money. So I have a lot of buffaloes. I've bought buffaloes, but I can honestly tell you that the buffaloes I bought, and the buffaloes were the cheapest coins I got in the 2008 crash. I was live checking Netdania and checking AppMax live, refreshing pages, and I made a large purchase of buffaloes in 2008 in the fall, and I think I locked probably the lowest price you can get at $12.50 an ounce in 2008. But so I know that, I've done that, and I can tell you this: the buffaloes I have are not the most profitable coins I have by a large margin. Now the next issue is the rarity issue. The reason why numismatic coins have the potential price explosion, that they do is because they're so rare. And I'm going to show you the mintage of some of these coins I'm talking about. And the mintage is shockingly low. And specifically with the Perth Mint, and we'll see that on some of the things I'm going to show you here, but the Perth Mint does not mint coins. The Perth Mint doesn't just go mint a bajillion coins and then expect you to buy them. The Perth Mint actually mints pre-ordered coins. So if you don't order them beforehand, they don't mint them. So that causes the rarity to be a shockingly low number, and I'm going to show you that in a bit. And the last reason for numismatics is strong hands. And what I mean by that is that, and I'm going to show you that with the prices, is that if you buy the numismatics, the price appreciation does not fluctuate with the silver price, the COMEX, the paper silver price. Now it's hard to find that. You have to put it together by looking at a lot of sources. You can look at eBay, you can look at Gainesville, you can look at APMEX. Those are the main suppliers I use. But it's pretty clear that these coins are in strong hands. I consider myself to be one of those strong hands, and I'm not really willing to part with these coins at a low price. So those are the main reasons. Now let's jump over to a example. I wanted to use a specific example. This is not at the bottom. This is actually at a, well, we'll pull the point up here. We can see this is at 12/9/2009. I've taken, this is an order that I put in APMEX. It's not a big order. It's just a kind of play around order of some coins I bought. I thought was a deal I saw out there. So it's not something you get excited about, but just something that I did as a lark to, I thought it was a deal. So you can see, first of all, the date was 12/9/2009. So let's pull up the silver chart and clear it out here and get the price on that date so we can get an idea of what we're looking at. So let's get to the daily, and it was 12/9/2009, and that was about in here. So you can see the price of silver was roughly, well, I guess we can go in and get the exact date. So we were right here. This is our day that I made this purchase. You can see we had a low, or here it is. We had a low of about 17 bucks, and we had a high of about 17.50. So that was the spot price. You can see I paid $21.44. So we'll just go with the middle point of that and say that we had $17.25 was the spot price, and I paid $21.44. So I paid a $4.19 premium at that time. Now that is percentage wise. We'll take the, I think I said 17.25. So we'll take 17.25, just use 4, we'll use 17. So 4 divided by 17, that's a 23% premium. So that's a fairly significant premium that I paid at that time. And that was I bought 50 of the 2010 Year of the Tiger 1 ounce. This is Lunar Series 2. I paid $21.44 for those coins. So at the time, silver was about 17.5 bucks. today silver is roughly 2 times that. So let's keep that in mind of what I paid and what the time was. I want to take you over to some of the pages that deal with this. Now, the Perth Mint issues mintage numbers for these coins, and unfortunately we don't have mintage on the coin that I'm referring to. We actually have the mintage on the Lunar Series 1, and that only had a mintage of 56,000 on the 1 ounce coin. And I've done a, well, I'll jump around here because I wanted you to see this coin. This coin, which is Lunar Series 1, is actually on sale right now at Gainesville, and they're selling it for $97.61 credit card, $95. So this coin's going for $95. Now, the Lunar Series 2 is not going for the same amount. The mintage on the Lunar Series 2 is roughly 300,000. So we don't have that up, but if we go to, I don't have this loaded yet, so we'll just pull up an eBay. And we'll log in. And you can pull up, I've got set searches for the koalas, etc. But you can just take the year out and put a tiger in. And you can see that actually we probably want to put the word lunar in there to get all these fake tigers out. And here's the Lunar Series 1 that didn't sell. But here's a, well, there's a 2, so we want the 1 ounce in there. It's not filtering right, but here's a ½ ounce. No, that didn't sell. Here's a 1 that was sold, okay? $120. So that's the Lunar Series 1. Here's another Lunar Series 1 that is 105. This one is 203. I don't know. That's an outlier. That's strange. Here's the Lunar Series 2. This is actually the coin that I purchased. Sold for $64. So I bought this coin for $21 on the date of the 9th of December in 2009. So that coin is now selling for roughly 3 times that price. Here's another one for $70. Here's another one, a Series 1 for $125. So you can go down and see. Here's one that went for $53. So you have to remember these reasons, okay? I'm very confident that this coin can't be counterfeit. If you go back to the picture, and let's get a good one here, and we'll expand it. That's the coin we're talking about. That is an amazing coin. Not really counterfeitable. It would take a tremendous amount of effort to counterfeit this coin. So our other reason is the premium, and you can see we did 12.9. Okay, so let's pull up our daily and go back. We're talking about 12/9 2009. The silver price was about $17.50. Today it's about $38, roughly twice that price, a little bit more. But this coin is going for 3 times more than I paid. So you can see that the premium on these coins actually expands, and that's because of the rarity. And the strong hands argument is important because when I see these prices, and I know a lot of people are going to say, well, that's eBay and they take a big percentage and all this stuff. You can't use eBay. That's what people say. Well, I do use eBay, and it's important for me because that's what people are paying to get this coin. So let's go and look at APMEX, because APMEX actually has this coin on the 1 ounce for the Lunar Series 1. And you can see it's $99.99. Now that's not the coin I got, but I did get the Lunar Series 2. These are out. You can't get them. But you can see there is a 2 ounce available, and they have exactly 6. They're selling them for $160 a piece. So if we cut it in half, the 1 ounce is $80. So that's a 4-fold increase from the price that I paid at that date. So I could argue this for a long time. I'm just trying to show you some of the reasons why I recommend these Australian numismatic coins. Now, if we go to the mintages, you can see that the koala is another one that I've been looking at, and if you look at these mintages, you can see how low they are. They're shockingly low. This is one of the coins I've collected a lot of, and that's the 2009. And obviously from this number, it really wouldn't take that much buying to actually control 1% of this coin that's ever existed. And I think in the future, when silver becomes a unbelievable value that everyone recognizes, these shockingly low mintages are going to just blow people away, and these coins are going to be scrambled after. So I think I've proven that the counterfeitability is absolutely paramount. These coins fulfill that. The premium, even though it's high when you buy them, it actually expands faster than the silver price. The rarity is unquestionable, and the main reason is this gives you strong hands. The reason why strong hands is important is because you want to be someone with strong hands. If you've already bought into the silver story and you understand the fundamentals, you know that silver is going to go explosively higher. So you want to be a holder with strong hands. You want to hold silver with confidence, and you don't want these types of price drops to shake you out. If you have a premium that doesn't decline with this market, you won't be shaken out. So that's the reason why you buy numismatic silver coins. There's a lot of reasons. So I'm going to, while we're at these low prices, and I consider $38.80 to be an extremely low price for silver, let's take a look at what's available. That's the main thing we want to look at. So we're going to go to Gainesville, and that's the place I've been buying coins from recently. APMEX premiums are a little bit high. Gainesville is an excellent company. They deliver, they call you, they're just incredible. I can't recommend them enough. And by the way, I'm not getting paid by them. I'm not getting paid by anybody, but I'm just telling you, sharing you what I do. So if you go to Gainesville, you can select the drop down, which is another thing that gives them a great advantage over APMEX, is you had this drop down, and I've chosen Australian silver all weights. Okay, if you go to the bottom, you can select the number of pages you want to see, and you can see we got 33 results when we did Gainesville silver. That's it. That's all the Australian silver that's on Gainesville. So our first one we got was that Lunar Tiger from 2010, and that's going at 95. I think we've pretty much proven that that coin is unobtainable for under $90 anywhere in the world today. And the mintage, I think, was 50,000, so it's not even a question. And I wanted to, well, I just reminded myself of something, and the last thing I forgot to put on here, of course, is, some would say the most important, is confiscation. Numismatic coins traditionally have not been confiscatable because their premium is so much higher than the precious metal price that the governments, when they seize metals, they leave the numismatics out. So had to throw that in. So let's get back to these coins. So obviously this Perth Mint 1 ounce Tiger has exploded. It's out of reach. Unless you're a collector and you really have to have it, I don't recommend buying that. But let's look at what they have left. Now, you've got a really good price on this mouse coin. I don't like it. I don't like the mouse, and I don't like the coin. So I'm going to skip that coin. I don't like gold-plated coins. I don't like colored coins. I don't like things that add to silver. Even though they're cheap, unless they were near spot, I wouldn't buy them. Now we're getting down to some coins I like. Here's a kilo. I don't recommend that. And you've got another kilo. Here we go. Here's a 1 ounce coin. We're looking at the 2011 Perth Mint Koala 1 ounce coin. And you can get it for 42 bucks. That's going to be big. So I would highly recommend you pick up this coin. Obviously, the artwork on this coin is unmatched. You're not going to find a coin like that. This coin is obviously going to rapidly appreciate in value. Once it's gone, it's gone. I don't like the rabbit. It's overpriced, and I don't like the coin. So I'm going to skip that coin. You may like it, and if you do, go ahead and buy it. And that's really all we have, and I'm shocked. There used to be boxes and boxes of these coins, and they're not there. So I'm going to have to say that my #1 recommendation is going to be this 2011 Perth Mint Koala 1 ounce coin you can get for 42 bucks. I don't think you can go wrong with that. I just can't see how that coin can't explode in price. So let's go over to APMEX, because you can see, if you followed this like I have, we're getting thin. It's the supplies are running out, and it's very hard to find these. So the first one I want to look at is the Koala, and we want to go to the 1 ounce, and you can see you can get the 2011 for 45 bucks. And there's some 2010s here for 48. And the 2009 is at 46. They've got 900 of those left. That is a pretty good buy. So you might want to pick some of those up. Now, I bought a large number of the 2007s. Those are out, but they had a lower mintage. Oh, well, they got a close mintage to these 2008s. You can see they're 90 bucks a piece. So they don't have many, and I don't recommend you paying 90 bucks. But if you have the 2008 or 2007 koalas, you're really happy. So let's look at the kookaburras, which are top notch, and those are 50 bucks. I bought a few of those recently. That's a little steep, but it's a great coin. Looks like they have 1,000 of those, so that's a pretty good deal. Now I wanted to take you down to here's a 2007 kookaburra. Not the most beautiful coin, but they still have 267 of these coins. I don't think you can go wrong with this coin. This is going to be a collector's coin. At $46.90, you're talking maybe a $6 premium. Remember, I showed you the percentage premium I paid. It was higher than that, so I have to recommend that coin. You can't really go wrong with that coin. And this 2006 at 48, you can't go wrong with that coin. So those are two great buys on the kookaburras. I would snap those up in a heartbeat. It's a can't lose situation. The last one I want to look at is the Lunar Series 2, and we'll see if we have any of the tigers left. That's definitely one of my favorites. There's the rabbits, and there's the tiger. We already looked at these, so they don't have any left. I'm not really big on the ox, so that's pretty much it. And you really can't find these. Remember, they're pre-ordered, so if they don't order them from Perth, they don't get minted. So those are the reasons. They're very important reasons, and I highly recommend that you think about these reasons when you're buying silver. I have all kinds of silver. I have junk silver, I have Morgan dollars, I have peace dollars, I have buffalo ounces, I have some small bars, I have rounds, I have tons of eagles. I have a lot of silver, but I have to tell you that the silver that I am most impressed with that I bought recently is the Perth Mint silver numismatic rounds or numismatic coins. And not only have they shown the largest profit, but they withhold their value against these drops, and they prove all these factors. They're the most beautiful, they're not counterfeited, they have the highest premium, but that expands. They're extremely rare, and by owning them you automatically become strong hands, and it's highly unlikely that they'll ever be confiscated. So I encourage you in these weak times when people are getting panicky about buying silver, that you step in and buy these numismatic silver coins, and I think that you won't regret at all the fact that you did. And we'll talk to you next time.